happy Friday to my friends out there in the Facebook and YouTube world. If you're watching this live, I am here today with my friend Tina Ubben, and she is an owner of a wonderful store, happens to be my neighbor. And we wanted just to talk to her today. So thank you so much for joining us on this fine Friday.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Of course. So I get to see Tina about every day because her store is right next to our office. And yeah, I was like, we need to do this. We need to talk about what you got going on here, girl. So here
Absolutely.
we are. And I've met you guys a few years ago when y'all moved in to the area. So just
Yeah, you're one of the first people I ever talked to before I even moved here.
yeah, I think I happened to be sitting outside and I was like, hi, how are you?
Yeah,
But
I think I talked to you about we were looking for a long-term rental at that
mhm.
time. And yeah, you're one of the first people
Yep,
that
yep.
I talked to.
Yeah, so fun. Well,
I'm
go ahead
like,
and
I've
tell
known you the
everybody
longest.
tell everyone about who you are, like where you came from, just your kids, just let them know all the goodness about you.
Okay, well, I moved here in 2018, right before the storm.
Hmm.
It was at the end of July, and we moved here from Alabama. Ugh. And we have two daughters, ages 9 and 7.5. It's more like 19 and
Yeah.
17 at this point. Um, and uh, lived in Alabama for 4.5 years, 4 years, just about. And then we came from Kansas City,
Hmm.
and I lived in Missouri, um,
The Missouri side of Casey.
uh, Casey, and I did live in Columbia for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Um, but before that, prior to that, I lived in Denver,
Wow.
and but actually, I grew up in Minnesota. So
Wow. So you were Minnesota to Colorado to Casey Mo to Alabama, and now you're in Port St. Joe.
Florida.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
took the
So what drew
long way
you to the
around.
area? Like what brought you here?
So most people who know me know JR, and he opened Dagwoods here,
Hmm.
and him and his business partner at the time came down here and were looking for an opportunity to do something in the restaurant industry.
Hmm.
And at the time they wanted to do a food truck, but at the time, Gulf County did not allow food trucks on public property.
Right.
So they had to toss that idea real quickly. But then they came upon,
A
um,
little corner shop.
yeah, where they're at, and everything just worked out. And then it was like, oh, we're moving to Port St. Joe. No, you've never been there. Hope you like it.
That's so
So
funny because my husband took a job transfer with MediaCom, and we just had to stay within 45 minutes to an hour of WeWa. That was
okay.
our only stipulation. So when we came here, we were here for 4 days to find a place to live. We'd never been here before, and we fell in love with it. Praise God. So I mean, it's hard not to fall in love with our area. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
amazing. But I was so grateful that I was like, oh, this feels good. Like it feels really good here. So I was glad for that. So I feel
Yes.
that pain.
I definitely feel like the beach is my happy place. So I I mean, I don't have any complaints about
No.
overall about having to have moved here.
No, not at all. Well, tell us a little bit about your store. It's recently opened. So talk to us about your products and your services and all about like what came to be of the Dark
Okay.
Horse Exchange.
Well, really it started as just like this concept in my mind. There's a lot of these days, um websites that, sell high-end designer
Mhm.
luxury clothing and accessories, and I think that's all great and everything, but part of the problem with that is that you don't obviously get to try it on,
Right.
and depending on what it is and at the time when you buy it, it's not necessarily returnable.
Yeah.
So then you're stuck with all the stuff that you aren't wearing or wish you had never bought. And I
And you
think
paid a
there's just,
decent amount of money for that.
yeah, and I think there's definitely something to be said about putting your eyes on something and being able to try it on and, you
Feel it.
know, be able to feel the material.
Yep.
And so, you know, I just saw it as a business opportunity that I thought was suiting to myself in the fact that I like to shop. So it's like I'm always shopping. So now I can do this and hopefully make a living doing it.
Nice.
Um, so that's how that concept started. And then it really, and I've always had the vision to do it. Part of the problem it was um, finding the right space
Mhm.
and the timing of everything. So this past spring, I just, knew about 407 Reid, and I knew the current tenant was buying a building. So I saw it as an opportunity to just
Yeah.
go for it. And I talked to the owner of the building, and it was just like, sounds great. Let's do this. And I didn't really
Almost
have
too easy.
it was a really easy decision to make. It wasn't, it wasn't necessarily financially the best time for me to do things, but I just felt like it was one of those it's now or never
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So I just went with it, and um here I am.
Yeah.
So
So what does it in this store? I mean, I can see like I've seen shoes, I've seen sunglasses, purses, dresses, shorts. I mean, like, is there basically I mean, is there a decent collage of items for people to look at?
yes. So I don't actually do any consignment. I just straight up buy, and I buy women's clothing and accessories, and you know, I'm a I love a good sale, so it's always a matter of like buying things at the right time.
Hmm.
And there's really no limitations to what I buy, except for I don't carry like swimwear or
Right.
athletic wear, leisure. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's a variety of different products, and I have recently brought in men's sunglasses to appease the men out there because there's nowhere for them to shop, so they say.
It's
Um,
true. I mean,
yeah, so
cool water.
exact
That's it.
exactly. Um, so I'm trying to grow the men's, but overall that was not my goal or my aim.
Right.
Um, and it's easy to carry, men's accessories because
Right.
it's doesn't take up a lot of space.
Right.
So we'll see how the that works out. But in the meantime, it's jewelry, handbags, shoes,
Right.
dresses, and I carry all sorts of different brand lines. For example, I carry Prada, Michael Kors, Dolce& and Gabbana, Tory
Right.
Burch, Marc Jacobs,
All of those, the bigger brands.
yeah,
Nice.
Kate Spade, and it really is, and I carry all. different sizes. But I'm trying to grow and have more extended sizes. But it's all obviously, as you know, with any business, it's a process. So
I'm gonna have to apologize for my dog barking. I don't know what he's doing right now.
It's the UPS man.
I'm like, it's way too early. Dante, come here. Come here. Oh, I actually know why he's barking. We put a chair in a room that wasn't there before, and his OCD has kicked in.
Oh, he's barking at the chair.
It's not where it's supposed to be.
That's funny.
Anyway, well, I wanted to also highlight something that you do at your store, which I have taken advantage of, which is dry cleaning. So can you talk a little bit about that service? Because I think no one in our town provides this. So I think it's very important that you do this, and I love it.
So I am basically a drop and pick up place. So you drop your dry cleaning at the store. I take it to PC, and then and I only do it once a week, and then I bring it back the following week. So I charge $25 a trip, and then obviously you pay, whatever dry cleaning fees they have, which seem to be pretty normal. Unfortunately, because of where it's at, they don't do quick turnarounds. And sometimes it's even longer than that, just because I transport everything to Panama City, and then they transport everything to Fort Walton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's just not one of those immediate overnight
You're not going
things.
to turn it and get it done.
So if you have an emergency.
I knew that when I dropped off my stuff, I knew it would probably be a couple of weeks. But that's okay. I think if you know that information, then. But it's still a wonderful service to have.
Absolutely. And I have
this dress.
A lot of people are interested in it, but they haven't shown up yet.
I have.
Exactly.
That was great. We'll continue to get that word out. So.
Well, I try to emphasize to people, it is $25 a trip.
That's gas money, sister.
You should maximize on it.
Yeah. I gave you a full bag.
Oh yeah. And so there's a couple of people that were coming in weekly, which is great, but like I said, $25 it seems like kind of steep, but gas is a fortune.
And I don't have to worry about it.
And you don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about it. It's done. It's taken care of for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to drive it. I didn't have to search it out. No, I think 25 is fine. So don't even.
I think it's a convenience thing. Yep, so absolutely. I don't know. I just felt like it was always something that needed to be done here as well. And I'm glad that I can provide that. And just on that note, so you have to drop by Thursday at 5, and then you don't get it back for a week. So it'll be the following Friday.
Right.
So if people
today, I get my clothes back today.
They're already hanging in the store.
So fantastic. Well, awesome. I hope y'all will take some time, swing by, and I'll drop all of the particulars about where you can find her in the show notes here. But I always like to end with a little couple things that just so people can get to know who you are. The couple things is, has anyone been an inspiration for you to give you kind of the, I can do this? And also tell us about your most perfect day in our area. If you could draw it up on a beautiful canvas, what would that look like?
Okay, well, the perfect day is a little bit easier for me to answer. So I like the idea of sleeping in, getting up, having excellent brunch, mimosas, Bloody Marys, whatever, my sweet leisurely time. And then I would definitely go out to the Cape by myself.
Yeah. Yep, I
No
feel that.
children.
And just chill and relax.
Yeah, I'm a sheller, so I mean,
Oh,
yeah, and I have ADHD for real. So I can't I'm not one of those kinds of people that can just sit on the beach and get tan. It's like this is
gotta
boring
keep
to
moving.
me. I'm like, I got to do something. So um I dig giant holes and look for shells, and
As long as you
that
fill the
is
holes
just
back in.
exactly
It's turtle season. Filling in the holes.
exactly. Ex- well, my thought about it is, you know, when you go into the forest or the woods or whatever, they always say leave no trace. I always feel that way about our beaches because I go and I see litter,
Yeah.
and it's just I'm like, seriously? Like you
Sometimes
can't
I'll go ahead and take a little grocery sack or something if we're going to the beach. Because if we're gonna walk the beach, I'll go ahead and pick up,
pick it up.
especially after
Yeah.
4th of July and stuff like that. So
That's yeah. I always have a trash bag too, so I'm always picking up
yeah,
trash. But
do our part.
they really need to have a leave no trace kind of philosophy in mind when they go to the beach, the same as they would.
Most do, some don't. For the most part. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone been inspirational for you?
Um. Yeah. Actually, there's a couple people. I would say primarily, and the first people that would be inspirational to me are my parents because they both have worked for themselves
Mm.
for my entire life. And, you know, I know there were times when it was really difficult for
Mhm.
them financially because um, there's six kids. And, but, they pushed through and they did it. And, you know, they're doing what they wanted to do and working for themselves. And so to see their work ethic and their ability to overcome challenges,
Yep,
economic difficulty, whatever the case may be, to see them do that and be where they're at this point in life is it it really does inspire me and motivate me to want to also do that. And
yeah,
and I appreciate that they gave me that foundation. So
yep,
they are primarily, two people who've always inspired me to pursue what I want to do.
right.
And
Which
um,
is so cool because what that also does is for you personally, you have two young ladies who are watching you stand up and this is what I'm doing and I'm going to persevere and
mhm.
like I can do this. So
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
so important that that was given to you that now you can take that what's been
Absolutely.
pass it, continue to pass it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're young, so they don't always understand. They're
They
like, "Why do
will.
you have to work? Why do you have to work?" It's
Yeah.
like, "Do you like nice things?" And they're like, "Yes." And
We
it's
like
like,
to eat
"Well,
food.
then I have to work, okay?" So, and
They'll get it.
they're my inspirations to do what I'm doing. I want them to know that if there is something they want to do in life, that the only obstacle that they face are themselves and their
Yep.
own,
Their own limitations.
exactly.
Yep.
And they have two parents that have pursued their passions in life
Absolutely.
and started their own businesses, and I think that's awesome for both of them. And I'm glad that you know they can have that influence, and I hope that down the road they will understand and appreciate the sacrifices that have been made so they can live the lovely lives that they live.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So if someone wanted to come see you and or call you, tell everyone the address, phone numbers, Facebook, Instagram. Do you have all that stuff in your head? You may not.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We are located at the Dark Horse Exchange is located at 407 Reid Avenue, Unit A. We are right next door to Uptown, and the phone number is 850 399 1481.
Nice.
We are also on Facebook, and it's you can just look us up. It's the Dark Horse Exchange,
Okay.
and Instagram's the same too.
Okay.
Dark
Awesome.
Horse Exchange. Except for on Instagram, it might not have the Dark Horse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's
We'll
just Dark
find
Horse.
it. We'll find it and make sure, and we'll get it in here so people.
You would think I should know these things.
You know, somebody asked me the other day, and I'm like, I think it's Nicole Majors _ real estate, maybe. Not real sure, to be completely honest. I just log in and put some fun stuff on there. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I so appreciate you taking your time this morning and joining us and letting us know a little bit about you, about your store, and hopefully everyone will come stop by and say hi to you.
Absolutely.
All right.
We are only open, I should mention, we are only open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. and on Mondays by appointment only.
Okay. And I'll get that in here too. And Monday appointment only. Got it. Awesome. All right, girl. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Y'all have a most wonderful Friday.
Thanks.